think we're up. Yep, we appear to be up. And this time, I'm not going to get 10-15 minutes into the game and then remember after somebody reminds me that, you know, I actually need to share what I'm playing. Next time, no guarantees. Alright, let's grab that mod. Oh, sweet, it even animates shit now. That's awesome. I understand that that's like a mix of MechWarrior Online, or MechWarrior and / Battletech. Oh crap. What was that game? There's an old mech game, like, we're talking DOS era, that had, oh, and the sound mod, or the music mod. There's an old DOS game that came after MechWarrior, and was like, it was a generic mech game, and you had shields, and they looked like that. I can't remember what the name of the game is. Alright, let's see here. Doot. Poor little bunny. It's taking a minute. Weird. Oh, I need to switch my outputs. There's always something. And I need to relaunch this because I can't hear it. Can't hear anything. Alright. Why is that turned all the way down? Okay, let's try this again. So, as long as I'm here, GZ Doom, like I said, I like the interface more for Doomsday, but for loading mods, this isn't bad. You just drag them onto the executable, and you launch. Hey, that's better. New game, Inferno, still sticking with Hurt Me Plenty. Oh, I remember this. There's also TNT, the TNT WAD, which is basically a fan map pack, only sane, unlike the Plutonia WAD. The TNT WAD has a map that starts out pretty much exactly like this. Oh, cool. This is my first time looking at this skybox. I want to know, it's obviously just a color shift. I mean, they basically took out everything but the reds and then cranked the brightness. But I want to know where that's taken. The Doom 1 screen, background, skybox, whatever. What, a pistol? Seriously? Is some province in China. I'm curious where this is. Oh, that's why they gave me 2 boxes of bullets, I guess. Yay, he did. What's this do? Oh. Okay. A little anticlimactic, but whatever. Yeah, I feel like I've actually played this level before, or I've seen somebody else play it. Man, those fireballs hurt a lot more without the armor. And you fall over. Alright. Guns? No guns. And ammo for a gun. Come back, so I can shoot you. The last couple times I kind of had a prepared rant. This is kind of a way for me to blow off some steam and maybe actually find some solace that there are, in fact, people that think like me. Scary to some of you that may be. Hey, I punched him to death. By some of you, I mean those of you that actually know me. That might be a little freaky. No, I didn't do anything. That's too bad. Anyway, if that's an elevator, what happens if I stand? Oh. Darn it, I was hoping for a secret. Alright, I need... Yeah, I definitely remember that part. And there's something over there. I always think those are buttons. Oh, that's just the way back. God damn it. That was not worth it. At least I know there's plenty of health on the way. Because I didn't explore where that stupid imp was at. And I really should have before doing that. That's alright. We're going to get the bare minimum in armor coverage and we're going to move on. But yeah, that's kind of what... I had a falling out with my therapist office because I had to cancel an appointment last minute and they billed me for it. And she asked me if I wanted my therapist to call me and I said yes. And I haven't heard a word since, and that was like the beginning of March. March 8th, as a matter of fact. I remember, somehow. No secrets. Damn it. The secret was probably where that imp was. So, I've managed to kind of keep my depression and anxiety under control. It's not god-awful. As much as I hate to say it this way, it's basically average. I feel like everybody's got depression or anxiety to some degree. And I feel like it's a known quantity for the most part. I don't know how true that is, that's just my feeling. So I would say I have an average amount of depression and anxiety, and I'm more or less been able to kind of take care of that on my own. Started taking St. John's wort for depression, it took the edge off, that let me sleep a little easier and be able to let go of things at work, which also helps with the anxiety. Anyway, you get the idea. Ouch. Glad I dodged that one. Shotguns hurt. Who knew? So, but what I haven't had a whole lot of luck with is anger. Not that I have an anger management policy or problem. It's not like I'm taking anger out on the first person that I run across or significant other, coworkers, or whatever. But I do find myself getting easily angry about a good number of things. And I do my best to stay away from the news cycle. But as most of you I'm sure know, it's pretty much inescapable at this point. It doesn't matter what you do or where you go, you are encountered with some digital device that is blasting it into your face. And you can't get away from it. At the fucking gas stations, and this ties into my advertisement rant, at the gas stations you can't even turn it off. You know? And now if you go to even if you go to a sports bar nowadays, they almost always have at least one monitor on fucking Fox News or something stupid like that. So, as you can tell, it causes me a great many irritations. So, what I have taken to doing is rehashing this game. One with every shot. Let's go. And guns. And armor. But I don't need their armor so much. How in the hell did I see him? I don't know. So it's everywhere, and it's irritating, and that is on the list of things that are irritating, and that exacerbates it such a large amount, it's unreal. Like, I had a conversation with somebody else today. You see somebody wearing a shirt of some certain political alignment, and you are instantly, irrationally angry. It doesn't make any sense. It's definitely... The lighting's kind of weird. Nice touch. Why? And it just makes you instantly angry. And somehow or another, you feel, at least I do, somewhat attacked by that. Either attacked by the article of clothing, which is ridiculous, or you feel, oh, there's a word for being angry at yourself, or being, like having a really defensive inner monologue. Probably a German word, which is probably why I don't remember what it is. So, you get defensive for no real good reason, and you get amped up, and then you get upset with yourself for feeling that way. Because it's just a bloody shirt. Hate these guys. Die. You get upset for feeling that way, which then just, of course, adds to the feeling. But you can't escape it. I mean, there's a joke I heard that what was it? A vegan, an atheist, and a CrossFitter walked into a bar and everybody instantly knew. That's what it's like with some people when you get to political parties and races. As it's like, dude, yeah, okay, great, you voted that way. Uh-huh, that's nice. I'm sure your parents and I are very proud. Like, okay, you voted. I don't fucking care. Now, I am going to say that there are ideals that kind of turn my stomach. Not a big fan of racism. Not a big fan of bigotry. Sexism. Pretty much any ism that has to do with classifying other people or lines of work, categorizing people, whatever, is probably bad. I haven't heard an ism that's good. Yeah, not surprised. Go over here now. How did I get 140 cells? I only picked up one or two of those things. Yay, shotgun's back. Yeah, I think there's no qualifier to being treated like a human being. There's no qualifier to being treated like you're human. There's no justification for treating somebody like they're not a human being with basic decency and dignity. There's nothing that excuses that. You can make up yards and yards of justification if you want. But if you're trying to justify treating somebody like they are property or less than human, it's only going to make you look worse. I said that somewhere else, and somebody came after me for it, and I'm basically like, well, you're really telling me what you stand for, aren't you? There. Got all the special things. Got all the ammo. Maybe I'll get a bigger gun soon. Or at least another gun. No, I didn't do that. Thought that was really going to let me up there. I think that's where I started, actually. I'm not really paying close attention. Probably should be. Especially since they put an arrow in the terrain. Oh, it's a hand. Okay. Interesting. I don't like you guys. Ouch. Holy hell. I need more shells. So, that has been my argument. Regardless of political party, regardless of ideology, religion, whatever. I don't care. There's no qualifier to being treated like a human being. And I've waded into some arguments on current events. I'm not going to get into the weeds here because that's not why I do this, and that's actually going to be counterproductive. But here in the United States, a lot of people like cherry pick, and I'm sure something similar goes on everywhere, really love to cherry pick the Constitution, and they love to cherry pick religion. you know, treat everybody like your brother, as long as it's not those people. And there's a comedian, Steve Hofstetter, pretty fucking hilarious guy, and also kind of like Jon Stewart, has a lot of commentary while he does it. Good for him. It's a format that makes people pay attention much more than the news or just a straight running commentary type show. So he made a joke about the Second Amendment, and not that in that we shouldn't have it. Well, that's the music doing that. Okay. But he's like, amendment people are, oh, are you fucking kidding me? I need some ammo at the very least, and another gun at the most. Nope. Oh, you can, oops. You can crouch? How do you uncrouch? How do you uncrouch? How do you uncrouch? It should be the same button. Action. Okay. Fire, blah blah blah. Use open. Jump, crouch. Crouch toggle. X. Okay. That's not the button I expected it to be at all. Give me a gun. I really need. That'll do in a pinch. Don't have any ammo. I would really like a better gun. This is fine for some things. Not that. Anything in here? Ouch. I mean, I've taken down a cyber demon with a double barrel. It's got to be similar. So the thing he said about the Second Amendment, and he's like, amendment people are hilarious. Freedom of speech, right to bear arms. I'm tired. And you know, he's right. The more I thought about it, the more I'm like, yeah, that's kind of where people stop. They don't. He's like, what about the Seventh Amendment? Does it plead the Fifth? No, that's the Fifth Amendment, which was also pretty funny. And he said the Seventh Amendment says that civil matter concerning, and this is true, I looked it up, civil matter concerning an amount $20 or over $20 has the right to go to full jury trial. And then he says, or maybe it doesn't. You don't fucking know. Well, one of the things the Ninth Amendment says is that all rights enumerated to American citizens in the Constitution are also enumerated to non-citizens, or roughly that. Now, enumerated means to list. I had to look it up because I couldn't remember. So, all the rights listed in the Constitution, Bill of Rights, all the amendments, count for everybody, whether you're a U.S. citizen or not. And one of those is the right to due process. And that is being circumvented by people who don't want to admit what they're doing is bad. And it's being circumvented under more or less false pretenses, because anecdotes are not evidence. Are you guys really going to make me do this with my whole pistol? Or with the whole thing with my pistol? Oh, come on! Well, that couldn't have been timed any better. So, and then people were saying this country needs to go back to being a Christian nation. It never was a Christian nation. Part of the whole reason of the founding of this country was to get away from religion. That's why freedom of religion is expressly defined in the Constitution. And that's exactly why. Not that's how I feel it is, or that's how I think it is, or that's how I want some people who interpret it, the text says it mean. That is why. That has been proven relatively historically. Thank you, better gun. Or not. Nah. Sorry, brain. It's been a long day at work. Brain is like, I'm not stringing the words together the way I want. Nope, he's not going to have anything. Anyway, it's proven. Then it was defined as one of the reasons why. If you read the Declaration of Independence. So we have religious freedom. We have freedom of speech. And if you go to the Bill of Rights and look at Article 9 of the Bill of Rights, it expressly forbids the country from having any kind of religious allegiance or making rules, regulations, laws, etc. based on religion. I really thought that was going to be a secret. Now, I am not great at history, and thus I am not great at remembering the exact wording of things as well. But I understand and I retain really well ideas and concepts. A free nation will never exist if you are trying to lock everybody into one religion. If you don't believe that, take a look at some countries in the Middle East, take pictures from the late 60s, early 70s, and take pictures now after they passed laws allowing or altered the Constitution, one of the two, allowing religion to be used as justification for law. The pictures at first glance look almost identical to how the United States looked in the 60s and 70s. And then all of a sudden, everybody's wearing burqas. Now, where do you think that came from? Because I'll bet you any money that the people didn't ask for it. Oh. I totally did that at random. Are more of these doors? Nope. Doesn't look like it, does it? Hey, ammo. Yay. Huh. I just picked one at random and turned. Look at that. Anything useful? Hopefully. You are not useful. Not even for target practice. Okay, I really do like Smooth Doom. It really does, the extra couple frames of animation really do add to the game. You know what, I have a feeling that's about to come in really handy. Ooh. I already have plenty of armor. We're just gonna go punching crazy until I get a little bit more ammo saved up. Because I also have plenty of health. It was a calculated risk, but boy am I bad at math. So, it might be a little bit of an exaggeration to say that's where we would wind up if we decided to make laws based on religion. But looking at some of the nut jobs out there, like Pat Robertson and Jerry Falwell, that blame 9/11 on gay people, probably not. Because those people seem to somehow or another wind up with the most influence. I don't get it either, because they're obviously the dumbest. But somehow it just happens. Now, don't need any help. Ooh, what's over here? Nope. Thank you. Nope, I want you to get closer so I can punch you. Oh, usually doesn't take 2 punches. Come on, they have radiation suits. I've seen them. Holy crap. Woohoo. Now we're talking. Okay, totally worth all the pain. Yep. Alright. Somehow or another, get to that thing over there, and you get a bunch of cells. Well, this would have been handy to discover first. Oh well, what do you do? Oh, I came that way. Pretty sure I came that way. You need a blue key. Well, I still haven't figured that part out. That was wasted. I assumed something was going to happen that would immediately justify it. Because that's usually what happens in this game. But yeah, if you look at the Bill of Rights, Article 9, I don't remember the exact wording, but it basically says the government cannot have anything to do with religion. It just can't. And that's pretty much the end of it. So that's written for a reason. So the people who love to go on and on about the Constitution and then in the same breath say we need to be a Christian nation have no fucking clue what it says. More ammo. I missed those. I missed one. And that's irritating. Because you question them about it, and you can't have a rational conversation with someone that's convinced that they're right, so all they do is get angry at you. And then it devolves into a shouting match, assuming you try to continue to participate, and as we all know, you cannot convince an idiot of anything, because they will bring you down to their level and beat you with experience. One of my favorite quotes. Alright, been all the way all through here. These things are a little bit maze-like, and I understand that that's the intent. I did pick up the map. So somewhere, somehow, there's a way to get in there. No idea how. No, I don't think I can get up there. Does not appear to be anything that sets it up. What's this do? Ooh, hey. I can get up there. How about it? There's some ammo. Where the hell am I? Elevator looks like a spine, which is interesting. Oh, sure, you make that one door, or one wall, floor, whatever, poisoned. Hey, look at all this stuff. So, that's my beef with that. And I actually bought from local bookstore a little thing called Pocket Constitution. And it's a copy of the Constitution, I believe the Declaration of Independence, and all the amendments. All of them. And there are so many! People don't realize how many amendments they are. They know there's 10, at least. And you're lucky if they know what all of them say. Oh, blue door. Yep, I need to be going through here. No, I don't. I need to be turned left. So, if you're going to argue and use one of the founding documents of this country as a basis for it, know what it says. At least the tenets of it. And if you want to justify your position using it, quote it. Otherwise, there's no way. House of Pain. Alright, only thing I'm missing is a plasma rifle now. Of course. Always liked this song. Especially in the original MIDI. Had a much more synth sound to it. I mean, for obvious reasons, but like, ouchie, stereotypical synth sound to it. Like 80s synth. Now we got some ammo. Oh, bugger off. there's some stuff. Over there's invincibility. Hey, I was right. It was gonna totally squish me. Oh, I hear something. There we go. I doubt it was needed for that. But whatever, look at all the ammo. So, world events wise, honestly, outside of some of the stuff with Stop Killing Games going on in the EU, there's nothing that crazy going on. It feels like it's all centered in the US. And I've talked to some friends of mine that are out of country, Canada, England, Netherlands, and I've heard some form of the same sentiment. We're really worried for you guys. Are you okay? And the answer is no, not really. We have two camps of people in this country. We have people who think they're right, or are hoping, planning. Oh, I put it really good earlier today. Are making a choice and preparing for the best and hoping that they're right. And then you have people that are making a choice, preparing for the worst and hoping that they're wrong. And I am in the second camp of people. And the second camp of people, I would say we're more of a defensive type of people. We are not really aggressive. We want to go our way and do our own thing. Not much more than that. And the first camp of people seems to take egregious effect to that we want to do our own thing and be left alone. And that we plan for bad things to happen. We don't want bad things to happen. If we had the ability to manifest good things to happen, I'm pretty sure almost everybody would pick winning the lottery. We don't. We want good things to happen, but we just don't expect it. We didn't get that raise. We didn't get our high school sweetheart. Whatever. Oh, Jesus Christ. It would be in here. Dirty pool. And that's the way we think. We expect bad things to happen and we plan accordingly. We want good things to happen, but we don't expect it because classically it hasn't. They haven't. Huh, interesting. Neat. Dick. I'm trying to save up my bullets for enemies that I would like to stun lock. I mean, these guys, yeah, but if there's only one, I'm not too worried about it. And I don't understand people's animosity in situations like that. What does a differing of opinions hurt you? I don't get it. And that's how a lot of these people react to me. And I say these people, I just mean it as a group of people. That's how they react to me, as though I am hurting them. I am somehow threatening them. And I don't get it. And I don't threaten people, as a rule. Mostly for legal reasons. If you threaten to do something to somebody, and then you do it, let's do this before it wears off. Yeah, I hit it again. That was a pretty well shot couple rockets. Not too bad if I do say so myself, and I didn't even accidentally splash myself in the face with one. Oh, do I have to? What did that do? What did that do? And And that has largely been my experience. Also, my experience has been that... Oh, why? I have never been treated more harshly, judged more harshly, than by people who claim to be dedicated Christians. I remember in 5th grade, there was a girl that I had a crush on, and once her family found out that I don't go to church, they wouldn't let her spend any time near me. That's right there. And I mean, why? Like, there's no reason for it. I just don't understand it. That is the most bizarre reason I have ever heard of breaking contact with somebody. Oh, they don't have the same religion as me. Well, so what? I got into a similar argument with a friend of mine because he's not devoutly religious, but he still thinks the 10 Commandments are the way to go. And I disagree because most of them don't have anything to do about living your life, and they're everything to do with the religion and what the religion wants you to do. Only, I think, 3 directly pertain to life. Don't kill, don't steal, don't want what your neighbor has. Thou shalt not take any gods before me, worship false idols, that kind of thing. That has no bearing on actual life. So, yeah, you've got 3. 3 you could make an argument for. But as for the rest of it, it's useless. This one, maybe? Yeah. Oh, nice. And, what did that do? I will never understand, because I don't believe in arbitrary reasons. Where did he come from? Oh. Like that for breaking contact with somebody. Not even arbitrary. Like, silly. It's a fairy tale. Oh, so these open the doors. And I won't believe in it. Friends, good friends, are so rare in this world. What reason would you possibly want for limiting your pool to find one? There's no basis in logic or reason for it. Dead. So, I don't, and if I hear somebody else doing it, I question them. Now, that is the thing that religion is not a big fan of. Questioning reason for doing things. And it generally boils down to some variation of, because that's the way we've always done it. That's not a good reason. Ask anyone in the army. Anyone that's had to been to the armory at 04:30 to meet the truck that shows up there at 09:30. And I'm pretty sure that, oh, this is gonna hurt. Pretty sure that's not limited to the Army either. It's probably every branch of the service, except for maybe the Air Force or the Space Force. Because the Air Force, in some ways, logistically mostly, seems to have a lot more common sense than other branches of the service. That's gonna really upset some people. And the Space Force is too young to say that's the way we've always done it. Hasn't been here long enough. Sorry, guys. You're trying your best. I feel like the blood splatter was actually intended by the people who created Doom. I feel like if they had a way to implement that at the time, they would have. Yay. Full health. Awesome. So that's what the invincibility was for. Nice to know. This is why they made it a little more obvious in later games. Okay. Hey, I have 3 viewers, what do you know? So, there. Covered why I'm not friends with religion, and why I generally have issues with it, and the justification of it to make rule or law. It has no basis in reality, as far as I'm concerned. And we have constitutional precedent for not doing that. But, so these people, and it's all over the place, it's not just the United States, it's everywhere. Because places in Canada, Western Canada, Alberta I believe, either is going to or has been threatened with losing their health care because some idiot who ran for PM, or not PM, what's the equivalent of governor in Parliament? Is it still governor? I don't remember what the term is. Oh, I do not want to do this. But anyway, primary? No, I don't know. Premier? I think it's premier. Basically, the guy that wanted to be in Premier of Alberta decided that life was a little too cushy for some people and wanted to fix that. And I don't understand that line of thinking. It makes no sense. And I lived in Alberta for 3 years. They actually were the only payer healthcare system in Canada, to my knowledge. You paid $35 a month. At least when I was there, you paid $35 a month. And that covered all your basic health needs. Didn't cover dental or eyes, except for ophthalmic surgery. And I'm not 100% sure what that means. But they are the only province that you actually had to pay something in. All the rest of them were free. And for whatever reason, it just wasn't good enough for this dude. And I don't get it. And I worked for a guy that was like that too. Oh, people are getting too comfortable around here. Yeah, God forbid if somebody actually wants to come to work. And given the nature of the previous discussion, yes, I know the phrasing is ironic. Like, yeah, you have this company that's fully formed and people actually want to come to work. Oh no. Why would you want to stop that? I don't want to go to work. Alright, there's a maze to this. There's a way to do this. I don't think this is a door. Nope. There's a depression. Oh, that's that up there. And I'm sure at some point everybody's worked like that. With the guy who's like, oh, people are too comfortable. Why is that a problem? Now, if you got somebody that's slacking off because they're too comfortable, oh, here we go. That's different. I get being upset about that. What the fuck? Okay. Didn't realize there was a teleporter pad there. Whatever. If you got people who are lazy, that are not working, or in the case of my job, are punching in and then driving to work, you know, yeah, okay, that's a problem. You should absolutely discipline those people. But I do not believe in group punishments. Group punishments are dumb. They don't teach anybody anything other than you should hate this one guy. Because look what he made me do. Thankfully, I don't work for a guy like that anymore. Coincidentally enough, that was also while I was in Canada. Small dude with a massive inferiority complex. I had to make everybody's life miserable so that they knew how important he was. Did that say anything? No. I was really hoping it said something. Alright. I need to keep track of what's where. So we're going to this one. Oh, okay, so it does spawn us in facing the same direction. Okay. So I need to go to the right. Nice. I've been in charge of other people. If they know what they're doing, like I actually spent the last couple of years in IT management, and I'm still technically in IT management. You got a job for them. You say, hey, I have this job. It requires the ability to do this. Can you do that? If they say yes, great, let them go. If they say no, say, okay, do you feel comfortable if I show you how to do that? Yeah, we're going back out here. And if they say no, then you look for somebody else that does know how to do that, or if you know how to do that, you do it yourself. I had teams of people that did things I had no idea how to do. And because as a manager, mostly, at least in my organization, mostly what you're supposed to be doing is managing the numbers, not necessarily the people. They don't necessarily want you to spend the time learning how to do what this other person is doing. They don't necessarily care, as long as you have somebody that can do it. Why? Med packs, thank you. So, I had lots of things that, not lots of things actually, there were some things. Some things that other people knew how to do and I didn't, and I would talk to them about deferring those tasks to them, because, and I'd be blunt with them, I don't know how to do this thing, and I'm not permitted the time to learn how to do it, so can you do it? And if the answer was no, then I found another solution. And it's not that hard. Alright, let's try this one over here. So only these two go somewhere. I've already been all over there. That's a blue key door. And that's... I actually caught some flack at my job at first. And basically what I was told was, you know, we're not sure about how you're managing your team because you talk to them more like friends than you do subordinates. But we've noticed that, and at this time we were contracted by a really terrible management company called WePro. And I have no problem saying that they're terrible and saying that I'm a streamer. Number one, I'm not famous or popular. But number two, all you had to do is look on Indeed. And this was actually what the conversation, pretty much exactly how it went, was, hey, you know, we noticed that when you talk to people, we've just asked around discreetly, you don't really talk to them like subordinates, you talk to them more like friends. And I'm like, you know, comes a big Star Trek Enterprise fan. There's an episode of Star Trek that dealt with this, and the captain saying, they're your crew, not your friends. Well, can't they be both? You don't have to be a dick to people just to show them who's boss. And that is the thing most managers, in my experience, don't get. Ooh, a rocket. Yay. I have one now. Rocket launcher. I have 3. And, well, actually, I finally got plenty of those. In fact, I got more of those than I do bullets, so maybe I ought to back off for now. 4 people listening to my rants. That is, to me, is one of the easiest parts of management, is treating other people like people. They got their own things going on. They got their own problems. They got shit on their mind. They are not going to do their best every day. If you do your best every day, then it becomes your normal. That's why they call it your best. Some days you're not going to have that. And that's fine. There's no problem with that. And anybody that's in IT will probably know what I mean when I say this. If you close 20 tickets one day, you solve 20 problems, and that was your best, and then your average is like 8 or 12, okay, cool. I know that in an emergency, when we're really busy, I can count on you to do more than your average. Your average is taking it, not necessarily taking it easy, but your average is maintainable. If you were doing 110%, or in this case more like 150% every day, you're not going to be able to maintain that for long. And then you're not going to be able to do 100%. In fact, you're probably going to be lucky to do 50%. And that's where I wound up, because I was doing 2 jobs for the price of 1, because they were such an abysmal employer with bad reviews that nobody was applying for the job. So I was doing site technician, and I was doing technician manager. And I don't need to tell you, it's a lot to try to do those both at the same time. Freaky. I want to know how they made some of these textures. The repeating patterns. Like the wood one seems obvious enough, but like the screaming faces. Oh, I think I have missed something. We'll go to the store all the way on the right. Okay. Yeah, so I got burned out. That's what led to me starting therapy, if I'm being honest. I got burned out. Called my friend one day in my office and said, I'm not okay. And he immediately, or didn't call him, I sent him a text. And he immediately called me and got me to spill the beans on what's been going on. And I asked him why he called right away, and he said, well, last time I heard somebody say they weren't okay, they wound up killing themselves. I'm like, okay, well, I appreciate the concern, but I'm not there yet. Oh, they put a wall behind the door. Why? This is gonna suck. At least, ostensibly, I might know a little bit better how to get around. Burned me out. Made me start going to therapy. Because I was not coping. I was drinking, I was not sleeping, I was smoking. Most tobacco, but still. Not exactly a great indicator of mental health is if you start either restart or start a habit. Fucking hate you. And that went on for, I don't know, year and a half before I finally had enough and went, alright, something needs to change. I feel like I'm gonna kill myself. Not literally, but in some way, shape, or form. Why? Why are there so many of you? There doesn't need to be. So, went to therapy, started going to therapy, kinda started learning how to let go of some of this shit. Not gonna lie, it took a minute. It's letting go of things. It's not something I'm good at, which if you've been listening from the beginning, you've probably already picked up on that. What is this? Pain. Alright. Ooh, those animations look cool now. Yeah, I have trouble at times letting things go. I try to let things go. I really do. It takes a lot of energy to hold a grudge. I don't like it. I got better things to do with my time. But some things I just can't let go of. And that helped me learn how to let some things go. Not everything. But I was after falling out with my therapist, I kind of used that and expanded on it and learned how to let some other things go. And I've slowly just been building on it and gotten to the point now where I feel like I'm doing okay. Maybe not great, but okay. Yes. Do I have enough for this? Why? That's better. I punched him in half. I feel like this mod, or this game engine, turned down the damage on Berserk somewhat. Because usually, those guys splatter when you punch them. Usually they do this. Okay, he didn't do it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Usually they jib. He didn't jib. I swear. Okay, I probably should have explored in here last time, but, you know, it was next to a pool of lava. Wasn't really feeling it. Fan-freaking-tastic, we're back here again. Oh, and I'm getting distracted from my rants, which is a sure sign that I'm getting tired. What's back here? Another door. Oh, that goes back out to the hallway. Alright, so I want the run on the right. And I want to punch some things. It'll make me feel better. I wonder if anybody's actually enjoying listening to the rants. I kind of doubt it. Who knows? Oh yeah. You die. But I'm gonna keep doing this because I'm not really doing it for anybody else. I'm just mostly doing it for me, and if other people derive enjoyment from that, great. I really hope you do. There's so much useless clutter on the internet these days. I really hope someone gleans some small glimmer of enjoyment from a thing that I produce. Where was I going here? Alright. Looks promising. Shot him right in the butt. And this has always kind of been my, I call it doom therapy. Because, you know, you turn off your brain. You don't really have to think about this game. It's not complicated. Okay, that was a mistake. There are no friendlies. The boundaries are physical objects that you cannot walk past. It's not like a modern day shooter where if you just turn off your brain, don't pay attention, you wind up out of bounds. Or some stupid thing like that. You don't have an invisible boundary, because it looks like you can go there. Nope, in this game, if it's moving, and it's not part of the wall, you need to kill it. And if it's not moving, you probably already killed it. Or it's a wall. Alright, we're gonna do this guy. Not stand up there. We get ourselves another gun. We get ourselves a blue key. This gives us some ammo, of which rockets we don't have any. Plenty of shotgun shells. I think I already ranted about AI, but I was in a meeting for work today, and they announced that they were going to look at offloading some more of a specific task to AI. Or, no, a different task to AI. because they have had, quote, such success, which they have not, as a matter of fact. They have not had much success with AI. Someone keeps telling them it's working, and it's really, really not. Not to any amount I would deem successful. More that it would be good for research. Okay. So I need to go all the way over. What did I miss from last time? Oh, I have the blue key, that's right. And I don't understand. Actually, that's not true. I do understand. I do understand exactly what leads to this line of thinking. It is people passing policy who don't know how email works. That's most of it. They don't know how anything works. They're ruling or legislating on things that they don't understand. And because they don't understand it, they don't understand why it doesn't work. What do you mean it doesn't work? It looks like it's working. It's giving us answers, isn't it? It's answering the phone for us, isn't it? Which is unfortunately kind of where it's headed. Sorry guys, AI is not good at answering phones. AI is not good at doing math. It is not good at these things because it is, at its core, very fancy word prediction software. What would that do for me? Oh, that raised the wall. And that is all that it is. So if it solves the math problem, it's not because it did the math, it's because it, nice. It's not because it did the math, it's because it read multiple places and is thus algorithmically determined that the answer is most likely correct, that 2 times 2 equals 4. And because it's observed that multiple places, again, it algorithmically determines that to be the most likely answer, and that's the one it presents. Now, that sounds pretty impressive to most people, I'm sure. And it is, realistically. I don't feel like going across all that, but I already fell off, so I guess I'm doing it. It is kind of impressive. We don't fully understand why it does it that way, why it works. But we understand that it does work and can yield some, at times, impressive results. But right now its research level is a curiosity, more or less. We don't fully understand how it works, and more research and experimentation is needed to understand how it works. Why? So all these companies, and I know I've already had a rant about this, all these companies implementing it willy-nilly because somebody's brother told them that it works and it saves them lots of money. And that pretty much alone is what made the decision. Oh, you mean all these people that don't generate any revenue? I don't have to pay for them anymore? That's awesome. Yeah, we're doing that. And that's it. That is the end of the thinking. They can eliminate a line item in a budget. Great. That's as far as it goes. And these people are making decisions. Like company and country affecting decisions. That they don't have the requisite skills set to make properly. That's like if you ask a 2-year-old, well, maybe not a 2-year-old, we'll say a 5-year-old, how fast do you want me to drive to get to the grocery store to get some, or get to the ice cream joint, whatever. You know, someplace they really want to go, they're going to tell you some absurd answer like, fuck, like 1,000,000 miles an hour. That's how policy is being decided right now. They don't know how it works. They just know they want it now, and they want more of it. That's interesting. Classy. And that is And I don't necessarily mean governmental policy. I mean workplace policy. We have an AI tool at work that is horrible. Basically what it's supposed to do is if you feed it a ticket and ask it a question, it will do some research on tickets with similar issues and tell you where that ticket should go and or steps on how to resolve it. Only problem is there's a group of people who take walk-ins and they have to document their walk-ins with a ticket, which means that they, on paper, quite literally fix every problem. So this thing reads, hey, this team fixes every problem. We're just going to start routing stuff to it. Why aren't you dead? And so that's what it started doing. It doesn't understand, and no one's made a rule to exclude this team from the search criteria. So it doesn't understand that that team is only saying that they fix all this stuff for record-keeping purposes. Nor will it. And you try to communicate this to people who make decisions, and that doesn't work either. What do you mean it's not working? Of course it's working. See, I typed in the question, it gave me an answer, it's working. That's what it's supposed to do. And yeah, that's where the conversation dies. They don't want to hear it's not working, because that is their money-saving scam. Alright, I gotta pay attention to what I'm doing. Sometimes fucking die again. Alright, no. Ah! Why? Gimme. Thank you. I don't care about that, because I'm invulnerable for a little bit. Some armor back. Not doing so good on the health. Alright, that's better. Yeah, I don't care that I'm kind of using this for a terrible reason. Or not very effective reason. I'm getting health back. That's what matters. I'm not dead. And these people are everywhere. It's not just the office. Decisions get made like this all the time. And it's dumb. And I don't know why we entertain it. And that could mean the royal we, the plural we, I don't care. More than one person. I don't understand why more than one person bothers to entertain this idea that these people can make effective decisions. Okay, that's right, I already got that one. I need to go to the other one. It doesn't make any sense. And these people are demonstrably bad at making good choices, and yet nothing happens to them. They stay right where they are. They stay in a position where they can decide policy, which is the last place they should be. And, you know, on a related note, I did attend a panel at a convention about AI, and it was a machine learning programmer, an author, I think a lawyer. Oh yeah, the floor still occasionally damages you. And I think that was the bulk of it. There's a fourth person, but I think he had a redundant job. I think he did what somebody else already did. And one of the things he said is, you know, they have done multiple studies on which jobs would be most effectively replaced with AI, and they keep coming back to executives. And that makes total fucking sense to me. Because 90% of what they gotta do is just send emails. And it doesn't have to have anything intelligible in it. Now the other part of AI training that you guys may or may not know, you train it on the good things, yes. You train it on the good input and you ostensibly will get good output. I mean, basic concept of garbage in, garbage out. So, but what happens, inevitably, in every AI we've made, which are not really AI, because they are not artificially creative. They are not intelligent. Again, advanced word prediction software. At its core, that is what our current level of AI is. It's not creative. It can't give you creative solutions. It can make an amalgam of somebody else's solutions, which has the illusion of creativity. But this comes with its own problems, because that only works for so long. And what winds up happening is it basically loses its ability to do that coherently. It will mish things together or that make no sense, all the way up to maybe half a word, and it'll just put it out there because the algorithm's breaking down, and to that algorithm, what it just put out makes sense. There's something. Yes, there's something over here. It's blood instead of magma. Really? I guess now at least I know where that is. What's over here? That is the chainsaw. Can I get anywhere near it? No. There's gotta be, it's probably behind the blue key door. Something to make that come down. And I keep coming here. There still isn't anything I need in here, really. Alright, so we gotta find the blue key somewhere. Where else haven't I gone? I haven't really gone in the middle of this thing. Okay, there is in fact something there. Good to know. So it hallucinates, and that is the actual proper technical term. The AI will hallucinate. It'll just straight up make shit up. And it's believable when it does it. And the reason why it's believable is the reason why the same people wind up being in management and staying there. They say it says the exact wrong thing in perfect confidence, as though it was right. And confidence, by confidence, I mean tone. Like, the tone and timbre of what it is writing is as though it's correct. And people just go with it. Oh, well, it sounds right. It's written confidently. There's no might be or could be or should be or any of that. It sounds confident. And that's, once again, that's where the thinking stops. Why? And the wrong people will take it at its artificially generated word. The people who should absolutely not be making policy decisions, who have gotten to where they are by stating the wrong thing confidently, will believe the machine code that can also state something confidently. Alright, what am I missing here? It's over here. Yeah, I didn't think so. That's the blue key door. There is presumably, yep, something in there. Not really. And I'm all the way back over here again. Alright, so there's got to be something in here that I'm missing. Maybe there doesn't. What am I missing? There's something somewhere. Just not sure what or where. Nope, no teleporter pad. Probably not one on the other side either. That's, in my opinion, that's in a nutshell how we are, or why we are where we are today. Nope, pretty sure I already been out there. This is going to be another one of those ones where I'm tired, and because I'm tired I'm missing the obvious. So the map takes like 20 times as long as it should, and then the next day I get it in 30 seconds. Alright, there's a blue key door there. I have no blue key. I don't see a way into anywhere that would have a blue key. That looks like it should contain something. But I don't know how to bring it down. Didn't mean to do that. I'm just like him. I don't know how to get there. I don't know how to get into this structure. There's gotta be a way. God, that texture drives me nuts. Oh, hey. Yep. Totally missing something. Nope. I'm prioritizing the bullet shooters over the fireball throwers because I cannot dodge bullets. Nice. Cool textures. Lord of the Rings did the Tower of Skulls thing first. Just throwing that out there. This is, okay, so I know a lot of the lore for Doom because I'm a Doom nerd. This is literally just a close-up shot of somebody's arm that they digitized. That's all it is. Which, I mean, is cool. I think it's cool. You get some somewhat unsettling textures from otherwise mundane things. That's very cool. There's quite a few horror movies out there that are considered classics that were the special effects, the props, there's just so much in them that was done so incredibly cheaply. Or if you get into classic Doctor Who, there's an episode about a dude that's basically transforming into a bug. And you can tell right away that it is bubble wrap and spray paint. Basically immediately. Okay, so I have been all over here. Still don't have a blue key. Where else can I go? Right in there. There's a thing over there. We're gonna run for it because I can't remember what's in here. What is in the thing? There's a button here that opened that. There's a button here that opened that. There does not appear to be anything else in here. Okay. Yep, that happened. How did that happen? That's a mystery. Yeah. I'm gonna call that a glitch. I don't know how that happened. But, like, whatever, man. I think I triggered something. It's just a guess, though. Let's see here. Should be some guys at long range, like that. Okay. One more? Yep. Still 3. So that dude went careening back against the wall. So what opened? Something opened. Yep, I see a thing with armor over there. That was definitely not there before. Or was it a blue key? I want to get some health first, because that's gonna suck. Alright. Going around, conserve my health as much as possible. Stupid tree root thing keeps getting in my way. There's no round, whatever. Holy crap, that was probably a bad idea. Some of these things, like with that weird looking tree, block projectiles, but do not block hit scan weapons. So projectiles would be like the fireball that dude was throwing. Hit scan weapons would be guns. Why? I don't think he can actually shoot me in here. Oh, he can. They don't block hit scan weapons. Don't know. Because I'm guessing hit scan weapons bypass. They just appear on whatever object you're pointed at. The computer does calculation, says, oh, these are going to spread out this much, and over this distance they're going to impact here, and there's no traversing, it's just there. Projectiles, meanwhile, have to traverse all the terrain. So because there's actual terrain, and it is represented as physical because it blocks player, the hit scan weapons hit that. Player hits that, but weapons go right through it. Oh, neat. Anything else? Anything new? Nope. Can I bring that down? No. Oh, that's got a radiation suit. That's good to know. Oh, come on. I feel like this ought to be obvious. Thank you, past me, for leaving behind the health packs. Isn't that where I came in? Did I miss something? Pretty sure that's where I came in. Now what? Why? There's no... I don't see a... Nice. Yay. Basic observation wins the day once again. Love it when that happens. Makes me feel smart, even though it took me way too fucking long to get to that. We're just gonna gloss over that part. Because I have too many shotgun shells and not enough bullets. Come on. There we go. You got to where I can shoot him. The single barrel shotgun does not knock them back like the double barreled does. Double barrel does a really good job of sending them flying across the map, which I appreciate. Now, I think in this game there's something like a 10% chance of getting hit by a radioactive floor, even if you've got a suit on. Which is why a couple times I was standing out here on the ground and I took damage even though nobody shot me or nobody was anywhere near me. Alright, I got the blue key. Where's the blue key door? I'm going to wrap this one up tonight. I think it's all the way over here. Yep. Yay, Mount Erebus. Didn't do too bad. That's the secret that lets you kill Commander Keen, though. At least I think that's a gate to Limbo. Is this... Alright. We're calling it here. I am tired. It is late. It's time for me to get ready for bed to go to work in the morning. But yeah, Doom is my therapy. And getting to rant to people that hopefully derive some form of enjoyment from it also good for the soul a little bit, in so much as there is a thing. So, thank you guys for watching. I hope you're enjoying. If you're not enjoying it, why are you watching? And until next time, which is going to be this Saturday actually, starting up the MW5 clan stream again for the new Ghost Bear expansion pack. Farewell and be well.